Okay, so this is day 2 of the little blog I'm doing here, and calling this preparation because this is the final day before the ceremonies, the plant ceremonies, the Ayahuasca brew, and it's kind of just been setting up for that. There's going to be like some actual preparation for the ceremony tomorrow, but today is kind of like, you know, you're getting settled in. Most of the people arrived today, and so I'm just going to go through my day and like just the activities I did. The main part of what happened is the breath work, which is at the end of the day when everybody's here and settled in. That's where like a lot of interesting things happened, and there'll be a lot more to speak about regarding the plant ceremony and the activity we did at the time. So I walked over to the restaurant, and the first person I saw was actually the first person I spoke to when I arrived here, a person who I described as having a bad experience, or they were sort of confused and stressed about everything. And so I sat down and spoke to her, and she was saying that, you know, the experience she had was all kind of like dark stuff, very stressful, like emotional baggage was like coming up and things like that. So she didn't have a good time, but I think she was like quite hopeful for the future that things would feel better. You know, she would be learning from it, and it kind of related to me with an experience with what I had with the psychedelic mushrooms in 2011, and so I like related to her, and we kind of both agreed that it's probably a lot of bad stuff happened to her, so she's gonna be able to see the good from it in the coming years. And you know, there was a lot of other people who were just getting ready to leave from last week, or the people who were left over from that group were around, so I got to like talk to a few of them and hear their experiences. But before I was like talking to them, I went over to see this Agape live stream. So in this place, they have the conference room where all of the talks happen, and they've got like a big schedule they give you in the book. There's like a schedule of all these different events that are there. The green one's like most important, and there are like sort of sheets you can fill out to keep a journal or keep track of what you're doing here. And there's another place. So what I did when I went down to the live stream and nobody was there. I think this one was a rerun, or like just showing a past ceremony, and well, I mean ceremony. It's a church mass, so it's like Reverend Michael Beckwith in America hosts these, you know, like big open ceremonies where there's a stage and there's a big crowd, like in a theatre. So I walked in, there was no one there. I kind of hung around for 10 minutes. The TV wasn't playing the sound, so I sat at the front, watched it on the laptop for a bit, and I thought, hey, I could watch this on YouTube anytime. So, you know, I'm looking outside and there's nice sunny weather and palm trees and all this stuff, so I thought, I'll go outside. And I walked around for a bit. I came back to my room, changed to go to the swimming pool, and I think just before that, or just after, it was just around that time, there was like an actual live event, and still no one was in there. Some guys came in to try and help and sort out the TV, the sound, but that was not working, and I said, don't worry about it, and you know, I'm not that interested anyway. And then we spoke to me and the girl from yesterday were there, and we spoke to this person who had been around for the past week, and she was like explaining some of her experiences, what she saw around the place. She'd like taken a lot of photos of you know, parts of the resort, or you know, the location, and yeah, she was like mentioning how, you know, people just like can get sick or can get like diarrhea and stuff during the ceremonies when you drink the brew. So we were kind of talking about that, and like how it happens or why it happens, and it's just depends on the person. You can be resisting or like holding something, and that will manifest in a way that you need to throw up then to purge that out. Whereas you can be in a state where you just sweat it out, or you just breathe it out, or like like sighing and yawning. So each person's different, and I guess it depends what you bring to the table in terms of your expectations and intentions or lack of. So she said the best way to be is just no expectation, and be open to whatever happens. So if there's a bit of discomfort coming your way, let it pass, it's going to happen. So that was a good talk, yeah. She was like explaining things in a good way. She's from New Jersey, so she had a bit of a crazy kind of attitude in the way of talking about things, so it's quite cool. And what happened after that? Then everybody else started arriving. Like, before that it was like 5 of us newbies around, and I think now there's like 30 going on 40 people who are here. My friends arrived as well, who I've been waiting to meet, who got me the ticket here. And so we all hung out, met up, and got to eat lunch, and everyone just got to meet each other before going to the orientation, where they do like some ice breaking stuff. Obviously we went to the orientation yesterday, so it was just nice to be there with the new people and to get to see some new faces, learn the names, stuff like that. And we all went from that into the breath work. So this is the main part of where the real juicy stuff of what happened today is. This one was led by Christian Minson, who's he's been designing this breathwork program and talks and all that sort of stuff. He was a monk for 10 years, and he's been doing breathwork for about 18 years. And he gave like an explanation, more deeper explanation yesterday of how to process this technique and what it all means, and how to explore it as you go forward as well. So again, that technique is opening your mouth wide like you're yawning and breathing in to your stomach. Like, first you set your intention in your heart and get your focus and awareness to drop out of your mind, stop rattling around thoughts in here and just judging everything from this platform. Sink your awareness down to your chest and start letting that become free. So when you're breathing, you get a full breath, you let it fully come out, so let it fall out and relax, and then you let the breath flow continuously, so you're not like holding, you just like kind of like if you're having a panic attack, if you've ever done something, so you want to kind of go in that realm of breathing, but not too fast and not too exaggerated. So everybody starts doing that, and because we're in a bigger group, there's a lot more potential for variation in experience, and there were a lot of really crazy experiences that people had. People and my experience developed from yesterday as well. Yesterday was just kind of feelings, and today was more visual, more it was heightened. Anyway, I'll get into it. So there were people doing the toning, which is when you start to feel like a sensation is too much. Like some people, I had it yesterday, like the cramping in the fingers, but I didn't get that today. I felt a bit of tingling, but it was fine. I'd released it, so that's good. If you get this tension or any kind of cramping or whatever, something that's too intense for you to handle, you slam your arms and feet around on the floor, you shout or whatever noise you need to make to get everything out. So people run with that, and you can let any emotion out. Some people started doing some singing or doing some puking noises, or screaming. People were full on screaming at some point, getting out these emotions. If you feel like you've been holding it in all your life, you're not saying what you need to say, or you're afraid to shout in public and stuff like that, so you let it out. You're in the safe space where anyone can say and do whatever they want. So people were doing that, and after 20 minutes of that, there were people who really started crying and just letting out all of their emotional baggage and stress that they had been carrying. And there were a few people around the room who were like, really just sobbing and crying, like really letting it out and just letting go. And it was great. It felt in the room, it just felt amazing to be around everyone just letting go of their baggage and troubles. And I felt, like sometimes I was just full of joy for that people were letting the stuff go. So I was like laughing or just like letting out some sighs of like this tension I had. I had a massage before as well. So before I went into breathwork, I got a really intense massage from the guy Jerson at the spa at the front entrance, and he really like dug into my back and pushed really hard down these muscles and really like drew out any tension. I felt really good. I've realised I've got tension in my middle upper back, which I didn't realise I had. So that's been good to be made aware of. One particular thing that happened was when I was letting out a breath. I was like noticing there was like a bit of like a kind of tickle in my throat or a cough, and so I just ran with that. It was like pushing out a breath as much as I can, and it became like a cough at the end. So I did that a couple of times, and this, I don't know, some like gunk I have inside just collected and pulled up out, and I went outside and just spat it out into the floor, and it was just felt like getting rid of some nasty stuff that had been collecting in my throat, maybe from old times of smoking, or I don't know, maybe I walked on the road and it was really dusty, so maybe I just had like dust collecting in my lungs, and that all needs to come out. And it's really windy here at the moment. Maybe you've heard it from the outside windows. So yeah, that was kind of purging that out, and then after that everything felt much lighter. Like my whole body just felt more light, and felt like things were just like my blood was running and flowing easy and quicker. Energy's flowing. So yesterday like I kept this kind of I guess PC. Like I kept it open for interpretation. If you believe in energy or not, it didn't matter. Like I was just talking about this center in what it can do for you in terms of your subconscious mind and stuff like that, and you can take that where you want. So as I go forward, I'm going to be talking more about like energies, but it's in the way of the deeper roots of our mind. Behind your subconscious mind, it's more like ruled by the emotions. What's behind the emotions? If you don't believe in any of this energy stuff or whatever, like ask yourself, what's behind your emotions? Who are you? Like, who is the person who's experiencing the touch and the sight and the sound and all the senses? Who is observing that? Like in quantum physics now, we understand there's an observer effect. So look into this stuff. Like if you want to really look at this from the angle of a skeptic, a scientific angle, look at the observer in the quantum physics, and you might find a foothold into where to what I'm talking about in terms of energy. But it's awareness. Like just imagine, when you're talking to someone, you're just talking. You're focusing, you're looking at them and listening to them, and you're talking. So you kind of got some awareness of the vibration in your throat and stuff like that. But you're not focusing on your hand or your foot. You're like, but if you started thinking about your hand, you're going to start being more present. You're putting more awareness in here. And so when you do that, and you do it consciously and consistently, you build up a heightened awareness, and then you start to notice these like tingling feelings, or you start to just like feel everything more deeply. You feel like the space between your fingers, or you feel like the knuckles more, or your wrist more, and then you start to notice like if there's any muscle pains, and it will lead on from there. So that's place to get into. Obviously, if you're already into energy, you know what this is all about. So that was a really good experience, and everybody kind of got to open up and let go of stuff. And it already felt, when people were sharing their experiences, there were people who were saying they've never been able to like let go or like feel their emotions or let them out, and they got to there, and it was really good. Some people were saying they were crying because they always felt like they couldn't let out just say whatever they want to. Like if they wanted to scream, they couldn't just scream, you know, because you don't want people to like think, oh, what's wrong with you, or something like that, you know. So there were some really good stories that went around when the mic was passed at the end, and it's kind of set the tone for a really good week ahead. I think, you know, people are really already open and willing to just let it go and take whatever comes in. So that's what the medicine's going to be about. You know, it's ayahuasca medicine. There's 4 different types we learned today, like what each type's going to be. So we've got like one from Colombia, Brazilian medicine that they make in Colombia, and there are like different ceremonies led by, you know, like a woman only ceremony, a men only ceremony, and there's like another one which is like mixed and stuff like that. So yeah, so it's all good. Everyone, like most people are here now, and everything is settled. So everybody went to dinner. They had a nice talk. You know, I'm not personally eating anything from when I had that meal at lunch. So I will just be having like some juice and liquids tomorrow. I might have like a thick juice, so smoothie rather than a juice, to just give some substance to my stomach. But I want to let my body be able to just freely take nutrition and not have anything like stodgy in my stomach for the medicine. So that's so that I don't have to worry about any blockage or like having to go to the toilet because I need to just get that out of my system. Like when I've done meditation work in the past and like with Mara, for example, I've had this feeling like I just need to go to the toilet, and it just happens quite suddenly in the beginning. So you know, I'm just happy to like let that happen. I'd rather it would just be like liquid rather than having to go a couple of times because, you know, slide takes a bit longer to come out. It's a bit vulgar, but there we go. Right. So after dinner, people started going to their rooms. Me, Jordan, Aaron, Elaine, and Sam. Some people. We all got together and we decided to go in the back entrance of the hot tub area, which is behind the spa. So we got to hang out there, and it's a really, really nice place to chill in the evening. You know, you're under the stars, and nice warm hot bath, which is big enough for like 10 people. So that was really, really nice. And you know, I would do that every night if I could. So it was a really good wrap up to the evening. So tomorrow is going to be there's a yoga in the morning. I'm going to go to the yoga tomorrow morning, and then the owner of this establishment is going to be conducting 2 talks. One which is like his story about how he got to ayahuasca. I explained a little bit yesterday, I think. And then he's going to give an introduction into plant medicine. So we're all going to kind of get learn the ropes of what's going to happen. Not like what to expect, but what field we're talking about. Where are we going to be going into? You know, some kind of parameters. Then there's going to be some free time, and it starts at 5:30. So we're going to go from 5:30 until midnight. These chemicals, you know, they're like it's a brew, so it's just like a slow acting thing, and once it takes hold, you go and you ride with it for, it can be like anything between 4 to 10 hours. It depends on you, it depends what you've got going on in terms of your body metabolism, your mental processes, everything. So looking forward to that. I will probably be really high the next time I do this vlog, so because I'll have just come out of the ceremony. So I'm going to try and write notes that are coherent so that I can not just be talking stuff like, yeah, you know, life is just like beautiful, you know. I mean, it is, but that doesn't mean anything. It's like a trivial sentence. So I'm going to try and keep it concise and full of good information. Yeah. So that was day 2, and tomorrow is going to be the takeoff, as they say in the ceremony hall. It's called the flight deck, so we get ready to take off there. Alright, I'm going to get some sleep. We've got early yoga morning, and I hope you got something from this video. Yeah, have a good day, whatever you're doing. Peace.